Ladies and gentlemen, of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, strong style, cinephile, reigning, defending AIWF, America's heavyweight champion. The Arrowverse is over and done, unless you subscribe to Superman and Lois still being a part of the Arrowverse, but they're more like a tangential type of thing, or here, maybe, that owes the birth of it to the Arrowverse. But like I've said before in past videos, the showrunner basically said, F the Arrowverse, our stuff is not a part of it, we're doppelgangers on another Earth, whatever. So essentially the Arrowverse is dead. It ended with The Flash, and The Flash part, 4 of its season-ending, series-ending arc titled Finale. And let's geek about it for a few minutes because, dear God, it sucked. Okay, like the Arrowverse, it's been a fun experiment, a fun series of shows, starting with Arrow, and then The Flash, and then Legends of Tomorrow, and then Supergirl, and then Black Lightning, when that got folded into things. It was cool. We got some cool crossover. I'm a sucker for crossovers, as I've said again on this channel. Love the crossovers with the Chicago television universe, when Law and Order SVU crossed over with Chicago PD, or when Homicide back in the day would cross over with SVU. You had the NCIS and all their crossovers. You had Hawaii Five-0 crossed over with NCIS LA, I believe. You had a Magnum PI, Hawaii Five-0 crossover. I mean, I'm a sucker for crossovers. If shows are crossing over, I'm watching because I enjoy that type of thing. So getting to see that in the context of superheroes and comic books and comic book shows and stuff, it was great. It was fun. It was fantastic. It was something that you look forward to every season because it was going to happen. So that's what the Arrowverse gave us. It gave us some good times. All the shows in the Arrowverse had highs, very high highs, and they had some really low lows and some nonsensical plot stupidity, certain characters getting plot armor that just made no sense. Certain characters being OP for no reason, which we'll get to in this because, oh my God, the final season of The Flash. But by and large, things have been good. Like when I've been rewatching The Flash recently, a lot of it was born out of the fact I sat through 2 long tattoo sessions, one of them being my TARDIS. Can I get it? My TARDIS tattoo there, which took 7 hours, and I have a tattoo on my calf that took combined like 11 hours. So a lot of that time I was watching Netflix and I was watching The Flash, rewatching the first season. I was like, oh my God, this is great. I loved how this show was corny, it was cheesy, but it just totally ran with that Silver Age sort of feel and just totally took the superpowers, which Arrow had been reluctant to dive into that world. It just ran with it just out the gate. And I love that about it. Of course, Arrow soon came around. We dealt with metas on Arrow and all that fun stuff. And everything got all wrapped up together. It was cool. And it's just painful to realize as the show went on, as it started to get low, with the stupidity of some of the stuff going on with Savitar, the stuff going on with Cicada, with the Thinker. Oh my God, Cicada. Like the whole idea was to get the dagger away from Cicada. They would do that and then knock him down, or her, knock them down, get the dagger over here and stand there and just talk and opine while Cicada gets up behind them, grabs the dagger, and then flies off. Like it was just oh my God, it was so dumb, so dumb. So we have those low points and we have plenty of high points, plenty of good memories and stuff from the show. Now, in this episode, we now know the reconstituted Eddie has chosen to become the negative Speed Force avatar, merges with the Crystal, gets superpowers, gets his fancy suit. He brings together some past evil speedsters in Thawne and Godspeed and Zoom and Savitar, and he's gonna go kill the Flash, basically. That's kind of the gist of how things start. They have a confrontation at the hospital where Iris is at. Flash and Cobalt Blue now kind of go at it. Next thing you know, they're on this overpass, and that's when like Team Flash shows up, and it's Cecile in her stupid costume, and just the fact that everybody on the show has to be like become a superhero is just so freaking annoying. Because even like Chester, at the tail end of the episode, we find out that he survives his attack by Thawne because he has black hole powers. And he's like, oh, am I going to be a superhero now? Thank God the show is off the air, because if the show was still going, he would have been, yes. So, like, this speedster battle happens, and the speedster baddies just get owned by everybody. And you have Cecile taking on Godspeed. Like, a lot of my aggravation with this episode stems from Cecile and just the overpoweredness of her. And I saw on one of the message boards that I go to that some people were speculating that there's actually something going on behind the scenes with the showrunner, Eric Wallace, and the actress, which is why she got some focus, or she got the focus that she did in some of these episodes, which I'm really hoping that's not the case. I'm really hoping that's just wild, just uncorroborated speculation, dirt, mudslinging, whatever. Because if that was the case, and the people at the CW, and the writers, and the actors, everybody associated to the show, let Cecile get turned into what she got turned into because she was banging a showrunner, like, that would be ridiculous. I really hope that that's not true, because you go from her having like these empathy powers, which was fine, to her having these like telekinetic powers, and then she shows up with this dollar store party city mask on with this like suit, little bodysuit or whatever, and then she's flying. She's flying, okay? And then she's dispatching like Godspeed clones, just like, just, you know, it's just, oh my God, it was just so stupid. This dollar store, you know, Jean Grey that she has become, and it's just, oh my God. Like, I'm not trying to get into like a Don Lemon situation where I'm saying that like women are not in their prime at this age or that age, or, you know, whatever kerfuffle he got into by saying that, but it's just the idea that she is at the point that she's at in her life and decides to then be a superhero. And they gave her this great plot, logical way to just step aside, because one of the things that's been wrong with this show for a number of years is the cast bloat, and I've commented on this so many times in recent years. There's just too many freaking people. Like, which is why I was so glad when Carlos Valdez left. And I know some people were all like upset that Cisco didn't come back for a cameo or a voice line or whatever. It's because Carlos Valdez is on some musical show on like Hulu or something like that. I don't care. I was glad when Cisco left, and I thank my lucky stars that he never came back, because it was just, it was like 2 seasons past when he should have left, and yet he was still there. And you could tell the actor just was not having fun with the role anymore. Cisco just as a character sucked and was like just this this black hole of just this sad sack like individual that just needed to go away. It just took them 2 years too late to make it happen. But the cast is like too big, too many people. And you gave Cecile, where she wanted to do the superhero thing. Joe was like, screw this, screw Central City. Like, I want to be safe with our kid. And then they go to a house in the country, which Cecile apparently goes to on weekends, which was stupid to suggest that. But then it gets to the point where she's like, I can't take this. I'm going to like just go out to the country with them. I'm going to stop doing this Team Flash stuff and whatever in the city and go out there and be with my family. And I'm like, cool, that's logical. That makes sense. But then Joe sees her like saving some people or something, using her, you know, TK powers to save some people. And I think actually save their daughter. And next thing you know, he's like, hey, go to it. Like, I believe in you. You need to be an example for our daughter. So go, stay in the city and only come here and visit us on the weekends. And go risk your life to be a superhero just because. Like, they gave her a perfect out, a perfect way to lessen the bloat of this cast on this show. And they chose not to take it. They chose to get her to the point now where she's like this dollar store Jean Grey. This is so stupid. Oh my God. It was so dumb. So dumb. What else we got here that was just stupid stuff? The stupidity of these speed construct, lightning constructs, whatever you want to call them, the lightsabers that they started doing these past couple years. Like, I get that the dude runs really fast and you run out of ideas to with which to do the fights, which maybe that's an indication you should end the show years ago. But just the fact that they're doing that, and just like, it's just so dumb with the lance and the sword that Cobalt Blue had that was literally a freaking lightsaber. It's just, come on now. That's just, I don't know whose idea that was. Was it Wallace's? I don't know, but it's just one of the just categorically stupidest things to happen to the Flash when they started doing it. And we see even more of it here. Just why? Why are we doing this? Allegra gets to one-shot Thawne and beat him. You have Barry getting his ass kicked for a majority of the episode. He gets like this believe the impossible like speech from Kione to then go make the effort to save Eddie instead of letting him absorb the negative speed force and basically killing himself like Thawne did the previous season. They're like, hey, that's a smart idea. Let's just let him do it. And then Barry's like, no, I'm going to save him because he sacrificed himself to save me, so I should go save him. And then he's like, oh, I can't do it. But then Keon's like, hey, do it. And he's like, cool. Goes, gets his ass kicked, and then talks, power of love, power of positivity, those little pep talks. And he talks Eddie down. They're friends. Eddie's going to stay the negative speed force avatar, and then Barry gets to go have his life. Like, I mean, it's just, we were so hopeful in that, was it last year's, no, it wasn't last year's finale. It was season before that. So like season 7, I think it was the 7th finale, where he was like, where Thawne is there, and Thawne is like trying to get at him, trying to attack him, and Barry's just like, Matrix dodging him and stuff because he's that much faster than Thawne. And it's like, it felt like Barry had evolved. He advanced. Like he was just better, a better version of himself. And you would hope by season 9 that he would be a better version of himself that didn't need to depend on his team. It's nice that he has his team, but the fact that he is so codependent on that team is, at this point in season 9, just pitiful. The fact that he still needs a power of love pep talk from somebody to defeat a villain at this point in season 9 is, again, pitiful. It's just like, what? It's just such a waste. Like, there's no growth, there's no evolution. It feels like Barry is like the same Barry from like season 1 that needs help from everybody around him to do his job as the Flash, even though he's supposed to be the fastest man alive. And he still can't do anything by himself. You had a great opportunity for him to be like, to just take on this greatest threat that Cobalt Blue has become on his own. And just man up and get it done. And he still couldn't do it. The writer still couldn't have him do it. So he just limps to the finish, basically. And it's just really irritating at this point. That again, this point in season 9, and that's where we're at. The episodes in season 9, which I had seen where Candace Patton, an interview with her, where she had decided after season 9 she was out. So she was relieved when Grant said that, this is it, I'm out, we're done, Flash is ending. Cool. When she heard that apparently that there was like 13 episodes, she kind of, I don't know whether she was joking, it's probably a tongue-in-cheek kind of answer because you can't really tell tone through text, but she was like saying that she was wishing there was actually more episodes so she can get more money. On the one hand, I'm thinking she's joking. On the other hand, I'm like, well, she doesn't know exactly what the next project is going to be, if she's going to score a gig right away after The Flash, or going to be out of consistent acting work for a while. So she may want some, put some money away for a rainy day. I can understand that. But one of the things she said in there where she commented that they were going to have like better episodes and less filler and that sort of thing with the pared down episode count, which is totally not what we got. Because we got plenty of filler, plenty of episodes where Barry was just in there for like the opening and the closing because they didn't want to be in as many episodes for the final season, which like, if Grant Gustin was going to give you 8 episodes, 9 episodes, then you know what? You're right. 8 episodes, 9 episodes, not 13, and give us a whole bunch of filler crap in the final season of the show, which already has a shortened episode count, and you're going to give us filler? I mean, come on. That was just pitiful. This whole Kione thing that, like, again, Daniel Panabaker has just become the new Tom Cavanaugh, which, again, another reason, thank God the show is ending, so we didn't have to deal with her in another iteration in the next season. But Kione starts with, like, no powers, but then she has, like, kind of coldish powers, but then she has, like, these powers where she feels energy on the earth and stuff, and then she can apparently teleport, she can apparently use plant life to resuscitate people, and just whatever other powers the writers needed her to have at the moment, that's what she could do. And then apparently she ascends, and then leaves Caitlin there, because she doesn't need a physical body anymore. She's just out there, and then Caitlin remains. So Caitlin's resurrected. Whoop-de-freaking-do. I don't care. It's just, and then we get Flash just being, Iris and Barry are happy, and like next thing you know, Barry decides, hey, if we have these gifts, we should share them with the world. So he just like throws up some lightning into the sky, which is kind of like the Speed Storm of the comics, where a whole bunch of people got struck by lightning and got Flash powers, and Flash had to like kind of wrangle them all and educate them on speed and stuff like that. He apparently just gives speed to Max Mercury, Jess Chambers, and I forget the other one, which is a nod to like the comics and those kind of characters, stuff like that. But who is he to know if the person he just gives speed to is actually going to be a good person? Like, we know they are based on who they are, but by the same token, it's like, why would he just be like, just throw his speed out there and just... Oh my God, like, this is what we waited for 13 episodes to get to the finale, the series finale, the Arrowverse finale, because this is it, because the whole David Ramsey Justice U thing is dead. Nexstar, I think what's Nexstar, whoever bought the CW, basically killed everything that they had in production. So there's that Powerpuff Girls pilot that was shot, but then had to be reshot. That's dead. The whole Justice U thing with David Ramsey, we're just gonna be training youthful, like a group of young heroes. That got squashed, which was gonna be stupid anyway. And apparently David Ramsey in a recent interview said that there was actually Lantern plans, but they were changed, which is why he did the whole thing where he takes the box to Thawne, and Thawne like tells him about it, and then it's like he's tempted by whatever, and he just throws it into the black hole, and that's done. Like the whole tease that we got for years on Arrow to lead up to John being the freaking Green Lantern. Apparently we were gonna get something like that, and then they changed it, and he did the thing where he throws the box away, and he's like, I gotta stay with my family. And the biggest like just cock tease of like of all time in television, I swear, it has to be John Diggle, Green Lantern, that arc. That was just our hopes, dreams, television time was just wasted. Wasted. Potential, wasted. Very much like this show. This is like Titans level waste. And it just sucks because this is the lasting memory of the Arrowverse. A lackluster Flash finale. Again. I don't know. It's just, it sucks that it had to come to that. Thankfully, I mean, we all shouldn't focus on that. We should focus, again, on just the Arrowverse as a whole and the good things that it brought us. The DC adaptations of some of our favorite characters that it gave us. Remember the good points, the good episodes, great performances, and try not to forget some of the stupid, nonsensical plot, armor, just stupid stuff, like Cecil and Kione, and much of this past season, like Red Death. Oh my God, that was a freaking joke. Like, I love Jalecia Leslie, but what they had her doing, which I'll go back and talk about those episodes in videos to come, because I need to just, it was terrible, terrible. And the filler episodes we got this season, terrible. So it just sucks that the Arrowverse ends on a whimper with a lackluster Flash finale. It sucks. But on the whole, I'm thankful to Grant Gustin, Candace Patton, Jesse L. Martin, Daniel Panabaker, Carlos Valdez, Tom Cavanaugh, David Ramsey, Stephen Amell, and Katie Lotz, Dominique Purcell, Brandon Routh, Javicia Leslie, Ruby Rose, just so many other people who brought us so many good times, good memories, great television, portraying some of our favorite DC comic book characters. I am incredibly thankful to them for that. We'll be eternally grateful to them for that, for all the good that they gave us, for all the blood, sweat, and tears that they poured into the Arrowverse. It was a fun 10-year run. It's done. That's okay. We can be glad it happened and all that cliche thing. Don't be sad that it ended. Be happy that it happened and all that kind of stuff. So it's cool that it happened. I'm glad. I'm happy for it. And that's what I'll try to focus on. Not just some of the just full-on stupid stuff that the writers and the showrunners threw at us over the years. Like Cecil and Kione. But I don't know. God, that was a terrible episode. That was just a terrible finale. It really was. It was stupid on so many levels. My God. Just fundamentally stupid on so many levels. But, yeah, whatever. Anyway, those are my thoughts on it. Scattered as they often are. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Until next time, let us geek.